Port Clinton! There's stuff here, I think. Okay, maybe that was a bit of an over-exaggeration. I actually know that Port Clinton has something to offer for everyone, since I live there. As much as I would love to praise PC for being a hidden gem, it's sadly pretty much every small Midwestern town. While it has its unique offerings, most of what PC has can be found in any other town in the area, maybe even more so. But even in the ordinary things, there's still a charm that perhaps can only be found in PC. Most restaurants in the area center around three things: sports bars, pizza, and cafes. Sports bar has the most variety, with restaurants such as Beer 30s, Slater's, the Clinton House, McCarthy's, and others filling that role. McCarthy's is the most standout of these, being an Irish pub. Pizza is not only covered by fast food giants, but local places as well. Sloopy's or Bell Mel's tend to be the go-to locations for pizza and PC. Sloopy's is more akin to an order and delivery, while Bell Mel's also functions as a sports bar. The cafes in Port Clinton are best for breakfast, lunch, or a quick bite and a cup of coffee. There are two main cafes in PC, Coffee Express and A La Carte. The two are very similar and are seen as staples of PC, alongside restaurants like Sloopy's and McCarthy's. Now, I am excluding restaurants outside of Port Clinton proper, as well as major fast food chains. But in the areas around the city, there is even more variety. One very local place is Jolly Roger, which specializes in serving fish sandwiches. We live on a lake, okay? Port Clinton also carries local businesses specializing in ice cream, candy, and popcorn, as well as two local general stores. Of the two, I commonly stop at Bassett's. It's more akin to a regular grocery store, but also is great to look for hardware. Port Clinton, for some inexplicable reason, has a substantial number of parks and playgrounds. Most of these don't serve much for camping, but they are great for outdoor fun. Most of the parks, such as Waterworks, Portage, and West End Community Park, consist of a fair amount of open space with a small playground with only a few implements. They'll be fine for a quick visit on a walk or whatnot, but aren't the most enjoyable for a playground. These parks have to sell themselves with something extra. Portage Park is right by Taft Hill and has space to field soccer games. Waterworks Park has a baseball diamond and a large enough field for camping and fairgrounds. It is also located by a derby pond for fishing and a historic lighthouse, as well as being situated near the city's downtown. But if you want a real playground, then there are only two options. One is the elementary school's playground, which can be open to the public outside school hours. The other is Lakeview Park. It has a sizable playground only beaten by the elementary schools, as well as open fields for use for outdoor events, a basketball court, and a prime location across the street from Lake Erie itself. On the outskirts of the city, there are campgrounds that work better for just camping. The worst time of year for any Port Clinton resident: the summer. Starting in May and not ending until almost October, tourist season drastically changes not just Port Clinton, but the entirety of northern Ohio. Given Port Clinton's ideal location sandwiched between Put-in Bay, Lake Erie, and Cedar Point, the entire city shifted to be centered around pleasing tourists. The city's businesses only open their doors during the summer, as it is the only way they can make money. The city primarily caters to the crowd that comes around during the summer. In addition to the local stores, there are also numerous fishing charters that can be found on the lakeside. Nothing attracts tourists, though, like the Jet Express. The Jet Express ferries folks from Port Clinton to Put-in Bay, in itself a major tourist attraction. Some of the local shops specialize in offering souvenirs to the visitors who come up every summer. This period is commonly loathed by locals, but it does bring some life to the town, I'll admit. For those who stay in PC beyond the summer, it can be best described as a typical Midwestern town just on a lake. Some local communities, mainly residential, save for a downtown, and a population that is white. While Port Clinton has a neat history, being right near the Battle of Lake Erie in the War of 1812 and formerly hosting a tank factory, that history sadly doesn't seem to be held that much to heart. Yes, you'll see flags with "Don't give up the ship" everywhere, but it's more just a neat fact about an insignificant town. Port Clinton has the bare essentials to hold a tourist economy outside its tourist season. There are churches for almost every major denomination of Christianity, but that's about all it covers for religious institution. Outside them, you'll have to leave the city and go for a half-hour to a whole-hour drive. The local Catholic church, Immaculate Conception Church, is part of the Diocese of Toledo, though. Speaking of the Catholic Church, Portland hosts one private Catholic school at IC. Immaculate Conception School teaches students from preschool to 5th grade. Outside of this, the rest of education is primarily through Portland City Schools. Baton Memorial Elementary teaches kindergarten to 5th, then there is Portland Middle School for grades 6 to 8, and then Portland High School for freshman to senior year. The final major service that is offered is Idaho Public Library, which provides a sizable resource locally and also operates satellite locations in nearby Marblehead and Put-in-Bay. Portland, frankly, doesn't stand out much without the tourism that comes from its lakefront position. Without it, it's nothing more than a regular Midwestern suburb. But for many, it's home. Maybe that's the best thing about it.